Welcome to the MUSpartans.com Spartan Show for the week of January 16th through 22nd. Joining us on the set will be head women's basketball coach Josh Dzurick and sophomore guard Faith-Alexis Graham to update us on the 2016-2017 season. Director of track and field coach Brian Cashdollar and cross country and assistant track and field coach Kaylea Jachno, who will look back at a successful indoor track and field season opener, and assistant wrestling coach Brandon Music and seniors Alan Mock and Brian Clark, who will talk about last weekend's Spartan Mat Classic. Stay tuned.
Hello, I'd like to welcome head women's basketball coach Dzurick and sophomore point guard Faith-Alexis Graham to the Spartan Show. First, Coach, take us through how the season's going so far since winter break.
Since winter break? Well, first, thanks for having us. We appreciate you guys having us on the show. We've had, 4 games since break. We are 1-3, obviously not where we'd like to be. We do have a high note in there where we had upset the number 1 team in the conference, Rose-Hulman, who was undefeated. Very proud of that effort. I think going back the last 2 years, they maybe have 2 losses in conference. One to Bluffton, who I think they shared the conference championship with last year, and then us a week ago. Again, probably our most complete performance. They executed, they communicated. A lot of potential in this team. We're very young. One senior. Most of the roster is sophomore and freshman. So again, it's one of those things as coaches, you keep talking about potential and trying to live up to it. We've shown plenty of signs. Now you got to get to the point where you're no longer young and we start building on that experience,
right,
opposed to still learning those lessons. But again, there's a lot of talent, and hopefully we'll get healthy here and make a nice stretch run and keep building for the future.
So what are some of the positives that you're actually seeing in practice and in the game recently?
Well, again, the big positive to me was we put it together against the best team in the conference. So if you can play with and beat a Rose-Hulman team who, again, they started slow and didn't hit a lot of shots, but they came on strong in the second half. They took it to overtime, and our young group stuck together and hit shots themselves. So the positive is that we've actually done it in games. Now, we have not done it consistently for 40 minutes against every team. But even when you go back and you watch the games against Calvin, you watch the games against North Park, we have put together 3 quarters plus worth of very high-level basketball. We just have not put together 40 minutes. Again, our confidence level gets down, and that's common with young players. We don't get it built up fast enough. And again, I think that's part of Coach Dzurick and Coach Hamilton figuring out the players more and figuring out what buttons to push. But it's also them kind of now realizing, okay, it's time for us to step up, and we can do this. We've got to do it more. Practice, I think they've been pretty positive. You can tell they're fighting. They don't always know how to pull themselves out of those days when they don't want to be there, or just from being young, or your body banged up, and that's tough. But that's the commitment you make, and if you want to have the success that they talk about, then they've got to learn how to push through those moments and build on, kind of pull each other together and help each other out and pull through those moments.
That's good. Looks like a lot to look forward to. So Faith-Alexis, your role has been a point guard this year. So what things have you tried to concentrate on specifically on your game to propel yourself into the game?
Definitely ball handling. Obviously, as a point guard, the ball's in my hand most of the time. So just work on my moves and stuff like that. Just being under pressure and having quick defenders on me and keeping the ball up, keeping the ball under control.
And so a lot of athletes, especially college athletes, they have to stick to schedules and things like that. On a typical game day, how do you prepare for the game throughout the day before?
I usually make sure all my homework is done, so I don't have to worry about that. Basically, I just make sure everything's written down on my agenda, so I don't have to worry about me missing any assignments or anything like that. Make sure I alert my teachers ahead of time and stuff like that.
Any pre-game superstitions of yours or anything?
I always relax, just kind of lay down in the bed, and I make sure I pray.
What about you, Coach Dzurick? Any superstitions before the game?
No superstitions.
No superstitions.
Every day is a new day.
Well, thank you both for joining us today on the Spartan Show.
Appreciate you having us.
Thank you.
It was a wrestling paradise at Stauffer Wolf Arena last weekend as the 2017 Spartan Mac Classic took center stage. 13 teams battled throughout the afternoon for individual honors. Coach Kevin Lake's Spartans had strong results in their final appearance in North Manchester this season. Junior 141-pounder Chase Wilson captured an individual championship while running his record to 17-2 and his current win streak to 14. Freshman 149-pounder Javon Phillips was a consolation champion, taking third, and fellow freshman Isaac Ray took fourth at 174 pounds. MU's swimming and diving teams returned to the pool at the Strauss Peabody Fitness and Aquatic Center Saturday, hosting Wilmington College in a duel. Falling school records were the order of the day, as Coach Mike Kroll's squad set 7 new standards. The black and gold returned to action this weekend at the HCHC Invitational hosted by Franklin College. The women's basketball team stepped on the floor of the SWA last week, taking on Bluffton January 11th. MU kept it close against the conference co-leaders for a quarter before a 34-14 run over the second and third periods determined the outcome. Junior Tori Chrisleve and senior Jennifer Lee combined for 15 of the team's 29 points.
This week's Spartan Show MVP of the Week honor goes to junior women's diver Allie Roskus. She set new school records in the combined 11 dive and 6 dive events, scoring 413 points in the first and 246.95 points in the second. The 11 dive also notched her first of 2 mandatory scores of 400 or more to qualify for the 2017 NCAA Division III Regional Meet. Congratulations, Allie.
We now welcome Coaches Cashdollar and Jachno to the show. Coach Cashdollar, can you please take us through the indoor season opener at Rose-Hulman this past Friday? What some of the highlights were for each team?
We opened the season with a double duel at Rose-Hulman, and so we go there and we compete against Rose-Hulman on both the men's and women's side, and we also get to compete against Division I rivals within themselves, Indiana State and Illinois State.
Very cool.
So it is a great opportunity for us to go out there and not only get a glimpse of one of the teams in the conference, but also see some very high caliber competition and athletes from those other schools. For highlights, we could go through every event and talk about things that were successful and things that we wanted to achieve and that we were able to achieve. I think the highlight that we can take away in a short amount of time is that we went in there to get a benchmark of where we're at and to kind of get started on an idea of different areas that we need to focus on. And that's exactly what we did when we came away.
Good, very awesome. And can you talk a little bit about each team and what fans in attendance might expect to see as the indoor and outdoor seasons are coming?
With Manchester track and field athletes, we compete hard. And so that's what they're going to see. And when the fans come, they're going to see, no matter what event that it is, that the Manchester jersey is going to be pressing 100%.
Awesome.
And that's what we instill in the athletes, and that's what they're going to see.
Good Spartans. And Coach, for you, can you give us a little bit of background on yourself, kind of like where you're from and your background as well in track and field?
Well, I'm from a small town called Factoryville, which is about 20 miles north of Scranton, Pennsylvania, about 12 hours away from here. My dad was my coach in high school for a lot of it and throws, and I was lucky enough to throw at Ashland University, which is in middle northern Ohio.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I've been coaching, private coaching and coaching at other Division IIIs, as well as Indiana Tech as an interim coach.
Okay.
And so I was lucky enough to end up working here as well with the athletes that I get to work with every day.
Yeah, a very good pick.
Oh, yeah.
And as the throws coach, what were you most excited about at the meet at Rose-Hulman?
I was really happy with all of the work that we put in the weeks following and how everybody, threw how they were supposed to throw. And I'm excited to look forward in the following weeks to see how we put together and the opportunities we create going forward.
Great. Well, thank you both for joining us, and congratulations on everything, and good luck this Saturday at Trine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we introduce assistant wrestling coach Brandon, music and senior Brian Clark, and Alan Mock. Give us some highlights from last weekend's Spartan Mac Classic. What stood out the most for you and head leg coach?
We had several guys place, a couple key wins. These guys actually both placed as seniors, so that was good that they could do that in our home gym. Chase Wilson beat the defending national champ from Wabash, and overall the guys are implementing the things that we're working on in practice in in the way they compete, and they're starting to find some success and buy into the process.
Okay, Brian and Alan, you each wrapped up your home careers with strong results at the Classic. Can you each give us 2 ways in which the MU wrestling program has added to your overall collegiate experience?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, Manchester is really a place that you can succeed in academics and athletics, and so it's been a place that we can, I part speak for both of us, that we can pursue a sport that we fell in love with as kids. So that's been great, and also I'm really thankful for this place being a small community. I've really not really just found teammates, but lifelong friends.
What about for you?
I agree totally with Alan, but also it challenged us outside the classroom as well. Having to find, develop strong time management skills, and having to do well in our studies, as well as finding extra time to better ourselves on the wrestling room as well. So just challenging us in a different way.
All right. Thanks for your time, guys. The Spartans will be back in action on Saturday at Wabash College.
That's all for this week's edition. We will see you next week for another edition of the Spartan Show.